Hello, namaste, konnichiwa, kamusta, sawadika. We gather again to discuss current issues and welcome to everyone that already present to be representatives from each country. Introduce myself, my name is Nurul Khan from India. Will be the moderator who will guide the discussion and sharing this time. Then let's greet each representative here. There is Novi Keiko from Japan, Syahdina Ahmed from Malaysia, Ipani Indriyani from Indonesia, Evi from Singapore, Andini from Philippines, Hanin Smith from USA, Isti from Thailand, Silva Martinez from England. This time we gather to discuss on the theme Unity in Overcoming Human Resource Issues Around the World. Well, before that, there is a welcoming speech from our host this time. To Ms. Hanin, please.
Thank you. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here today at this wonderful place. It's such an honor for me to speak on behalf of the organizer. So let me begin by giving you a warm welcome to the Unity in Overcoming Human Research Issues Around the World. The problem of human researches in every country is indeed one of the problems that we still face until now. Therefore, it is expected that this conference can be one of the steps that can be done to overcome the problem. I'm Hanning Smith as the host of this year's United Nations conference, and now I return it to Mrs. Han to continue today's conference. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Hanin, for welcoming us warmly. Okay, let's just start the discussion and sharing interactively. We can start from Indonesia.
All right. I'm Ipani Indriyani, delegation from Indonesia. Currently, the problem in our country is the birth rate of the population, which tends to be high. However, this is not accompanied by an increase in the quality of human resources in our country. This caused several problems such as increasing employment and the gap between the number of job opportunities and the labor force. Therefore, there are very few job opportunities for the community. The lack of training and skills of human resources in Indonesia limits one's ability due to lack of knowledge and practice to master certain skills. And the high employment rate caused the crime rate in Indonesia to increase.
Hello, I'm Isti, a delegate from Thailand. In fact, the case faced by Indonesia is almost the same as the case of Thailand and the Philippines. Recently, Thailand has begun to realize that investment in research and human resource development is an important factor and in strengthening the country's competitiveness. But developing human resources is not easy. So for now, we cannot help resolve or advise on this human resource issue. Maybe we can find solution together to solve the problem we face at this conference. Thank you.
Yes, as mentioned, Ms. Knoklan, a delegation from Thailand. In fact, according to WHO, human resources quality of Philippines and Thailand are below Indonesia. And talking about employment, what is the percentage of the employment rate in Indonesia?
According to the Central Bureau of Statistics of the Republic Indonesia, currently the number of employed in Indonesia reached 9.10 million in August 2021. A year earlier, the number of unemployed in Indonesia was at 9.77 million people. Based on gender, this year employment rate is 6.74% male and 6.11% female.
Hello, everyone. I'm Silva Martinez. It's such an honor to be a delegate from a lovely country, England or United Kingdom, in this great meeting. First, I think we can help in enhancing human resources for each country in this meeting from education side. We will provide many kinds of scholarship, but surely the slot is limited. England have a couple of well-known colleges such as Oxford and Birmingham University. So our education system is the best since we prioritize the students among another part in education. We will always do the best for our students.
Can you tell us the common requirements to apply the scholarships, Mrs. Martinez?
Oh, thank you for the questions. So, like usual requirements, there is minimum GPA score, some steps of tests to pass. Students' achievement also support a lot for the selection. And since there are many colleges in our country, they have different rules and requirements, so it depends on the institution. But we will provide the international scholarship from many universities as best as we can, so everyone have the same opportunity.
That's very helpful, Mrs. Martinez. It's possible that each country can help in overcoming their respective problem by conducting bilateral or multilateral relations. And maybe our country, USA, can suggest and explain about the programs that have been done so far to improve the quality of human researchers for our country. So education in our country is very important to build human researchers and the nation's children for the better. Therefore, our country also holds the best scholarship and educational facilities provided. And so far, what our country has been done to improve the quality of human researches is with the awareness of the people themselves. And with the facilities can help our people. The facility itself is in the form of focusing training and development as early as possible that is incorporated into our school curriculum. So another way is to provide adequate facilities in each city, such as training offices and other facilities that are in line.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Andini, a delegate from Philippines. It's an honor for me to be here. And the high economic growth over the past few years has noted a significant impact on improving human resources in our country. Like Indonesia, the Philippines is also experiencing problem with high birth rates. We also experience the problem of overcrowding in urban area due to the lack of employment opportunities in rural area. This causes unemployment and increased criminalization.
Excuse me, I would like to ask you, is the high birth rate in Filipino accompanied by the increase of human resources quality? If the human resources in your country have hardworking character and competent, perhaps they can create their own job so that the distribution of the population in Philippines will be balanced.
Unfortunately, the increase in the birth rate in our country is not accompanied by the quality of its human resources. So it is very difficult for the people in our village to create jobs.
Yeah, the same things has happened in my country. But before that, I will introduce myself. I'm Syahdina Ahmed as a delegate from Malaysia. There are concerns that Malaysia is not making full of use of its human research. Despite having a large amount of investment in education and hold, the rate of return is not as high as it should be. And when it comes to human research development, a large number of Malaysians are still left behind. Malaysia strives to become a high-income and advanced nation. And based on a survey from Malaysia Economic Monitor, compared to the other countries, Malaysia is good in terms of children's survival, expected school years, and overall health condition. And however, there's a significant room for improvement in the areas of child nutrition and learning outcomes. So
There are several ways that we do to achieve all of this and increase people productivity. Maybe there can be suggestion for other countries that may still have problems in the human resource development sector, such as providing universal access to early childhood care and high quality education, and then addressing growth failure in children and expanding and reforming social protection programs. So thank you, that's all from me.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Silva, Mrs. Hanin, and Mrs. Syahdina has provided our country with a solution. As a delegate from Indonesia, I'm pleased with the assistance from each country here.
Yeah, we are the part of global society, and it is right that every country should help each other. In this era, the World War is over, and it is time for us to unite and strengthen friendship between countries.
I'm honored to be here. My name is Evi Wang as a delegation from Singapore. Talking about the problems that Indonesia is currently facing, Indonesia's condition seems to be the opposite of Singapore. Singapore is facing the problem of the birth rate, which continues to decline from year to year. Even at current rates, birth rate suggests that the local population will halve in one generation. This is due to the high of cost living in Singapore. For a global trade and financial center like Singapore, a low birth rate has a major implication for economic growth and then tax revenues, healthcare costs, and immigration policy. We are worried this will continue and become a big problem for Singapore. I think Japan is also facing the same problem.
It's an honor for me to be here. My name is Novi Widy Keiko, a delegation from Japan. What Mrs. Epi just said is right. Nowadays, Japan has advanced in technology sector and the human resource quality. However, Japan has a problem with a low birth rate and tend to decline every year. While the percentage of elderly people in Japan is still higher than other countries in the world, and this condition is getting worse due to COVID-19. Thus, the low birth rate in Japan causes a lack of human resources and other problems such as lower consumption and decreased commodity prices. Thank you.
Excuse me, does Japan accept foreign workers? Because Singapore doesn't accept foreign workers.
Of course, we will accept because foreign workers are needed by Japan and this time to be employed. Maybe this situation can help other countries that have problem with the high unemployment rate, but we will very selective.
What will your country take in selecting foreign workers?
We will provide the training to improve the discipline and the quality of the foreign human resources before they are being hired. However, we also limit the number of foreign workers entering Japan.
Yes, training for foreign workers is urgently needed. I want to ask, what sector of work actually requires foreign workers in Japan?
Actually, only low-end manufacturing sectors such as elderly care, factory worker, and other. However, we guarantee foreign worker life by providing them facilities such as apartment and living expenses.
Right, thank you.
Excuse me, about the problem that Singapore is facing, is there any effort made by the Singapore government to address the problem?
Yes. We provide a cash price $8,000 Singapore for the first child and $10,000 Singapore for the third and subsequent children, as well as money to the Children Development Account or CDA, which can be used to pay for child care and health care. We do this program to increase people's interest in having children, but childbirth and growth takes a long time. We are still looking for a way to fill job vacancy in Singapore.
Excuse me, even though you don't want to hire immigrants in Singapore, I think immigrants are the only way out of your current problem.
Yes, I think so. Maybe we can have cooperative relationships to solve our country's problems.
All right, thanks for the input. And
For Indonesia, we will discuss this first. I hope it can be done and we can have a pleasant country relationship. Thank you.
So common problems that I got from today's meeting are lack in education field and rate of birth. I hope my solution and other solution are good enough and we can help each other and continue to keep these great boundaries together. Thank you so much for this good opportunity.
Wow. We can conclude that all the problems that exist in each country may be resolved equally. With the establishment of good cooperation between countries can at least solve it. Little problem there is starting from the increase in the birth rate, which is not accompanied by the equality of human resources. It can be tried by improving the quality of education, namely scholarship, and to reduce the birth rate can be tried using the immigration method. Maybe we can finish this meeting first. For a more intense discussion, we can directly discuss it with the country concerned. But before we part, it will be better if we capture this moment first. We take the documentation. Please give me the pretty smile. The others can help me to take a picture. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much for your the best attention. I hope the problems we face can subside. I say goodbye and see you next time.
Okay, see you next